gotta see this. Yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finesse a nigga with some counterfeits.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the German Muscle channel. There's a lot of dents all over the car, and I plan on fixing as many as I can in this video. There's a big dent in the fender. There's dents in the doors. My neighbor actually came out and told me yesterday while I was fixing the dents in the roof that somebody had slammed their door against my door and put a dent in it. There's actually some paint transfer, but I'm not too worried about it because I can just fix it all. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out these dents real quick and fill them in full of Bondo, get everything sanded down and primered in. And yeah, so let's get started. Alright guys, so I don't know how well you guys can see this, but right here there's a dent, and it feels like it starts like right here and then goes all the way down. As a matter of fact, I even pushed in the fender up here. Yeah, it definitely pushed in the fender. So yeah, so I'm probably just going to get a brand new fender for this side. This paint's all jacked up anyway, so I'm not even going to work on this. I'm going to work on the one on the quarter panel real quick. Alright, so if you guys can see this dent right here, that dent needs to be taken care of. So I'm just going to sand it down with 80 grit sandpaper and fill it full of Bondo and then get everything primered. If you guys can tell, the paint right here doesn't really match with this, so when I get the paint from the paint store, I'm going to be repainting the entire bottom part of the quarter panel. This piece down here is also messed up, so all that needs to be repainted, but I'm going to be working on this dent for right now. Alright you guys, so here is the dent that's in the door. Now this is a little dent, so not very much Bondo is going to be needed right here. But it seems how this door is discolored from the rest of the car. When I do get the paint, I'm going to paint the entire door first, and then I'm going to paint all the dents. Alright guys, so my tripod just broke. That's why this camera angle probably didn't come out good enough. But I got this filled in pretty good. I had tape on here, but I took the tape off and still got it on the rubber. But it'll be fine. I just have to go and lightly sand around here, around the rubber. But everything else will be fine. I think I might need another layer of Bondo right here. Yeah, definitely gonna need another layer right here. So we'll have to sand this down smooth and flat, and then put another layer of Bondo on it, and then go from there. So I also did the door right here, and I was actually trying to rush through this because the Bondo started to harden up a little bit. But if you guys didn't see it on the video, when I pressed in the spreader to fill in the dent, it actually didn't even want to fill in the dent, like there was no dent there. I also went ahead and did this side right here while the tripod broke, so yeah, there's some gouges all over because the stuff started to harden up, but the dent is filled in. So I'm gonna come out here in a couple hours and sand all this down.
Bust down, Tatiana. Bust down, Tatiana.
Alright guys, I'm getting ready to go finish up the Bondo job that I did yesterday. We just sand everything down and paint it with some primer. But right fast before I do all that, I just want to give a major shout out to BG Knockout. Dude is a legend. If y'all don't know who the fuck he is, maybe y'all would know the song Real Mother G's by Eazy-E. I'll put a picture up of him so y'all know who he is. The reason why I say he's a legend is because, one, he is a legend. Two, is because he's one of the only rappers that'll actually respond back to his fans. For real. I'm following every West Coast, East Coast, all the real rappers on Instagram, and BG Knockout's the only rapper that will interact with his fans. He just liked my comment on my other Instagram, and he just liked my comment today. I told him he's a legend today, because I mean, dude is a legend. Like, he's humble as bro. He don't let that fame and get to him. Like, he's probably still out there in the streets hanging out and shit. But you gotta give it up to BG Knockout, bro. He hung out with Eazy-E, and he's a legend just like Eazy. Just had to put that in there. Well, looks like we just lost another leader. So rest in peace, John Singleton. Dude was one of the greatest. He created the Fast and the Furious movies, all the hood movies from back in the day. And he had either a heart attack or a stroke or something, but he didn't make it through. So rest in peace, John Singleton. If you guys made it this far in the video, put rest in peace, John Singleton in the comments. Alright guys, so haven't really done anything for the past couple hours besides watch some YouTube, but figured I'd come out here and finish this up. So it's gonna wipe off the door right here. So if you guys are wondering, I got alcohol on the pad or rag, whatever you want to call it. This is probably like the smoothest Bondo job I've ever done. This right here should be perfect when I spray the actual paint. So shouldn't be looking too bad. So just gonna go ahead and spray this down with some primer. Alright, so just in case y'all were wondering, I did end up finishing up the roof. There's an ant that I just killed by accident. But anyway, I went ahead and sanded this down with 400 grit. Doing body work creates a huge mess. So my whole entire car is covered in this. So this car definitely needs a bath. This right here, we'll have to do this tomorrow. I gotta put some more Bondo in here. I'm actually going to get some glazing putty to put in there just so I don't have to mess with the Bondo. And that way I can just lay it down really smooth and then sand everything out. But that's done. The door's done. I just need to finish up on the quarter panel. And when I get the paint from the paint store, I'm just going to repaint this entire door. And then I'm going to paint all the dents and stuff that I fixed. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this. So this is the only side that I still need to sand down. And yeah, so this should come out pretty good because I laid in quite a bit of Bondo in the dent area. So yeah, the only bad thing about fixing dents is that if you sand down way too much, what's going to happen is you can actually feel the dent like on the metal. Like if the dent's right here, you can actually feel the metal start to go down like right around where the dent's at. That's the only hard thing about fixing a dent, is you got to make sure that you have enough Bondo around the edge, that way it's completely flush. So that's why I had to redo the roof, because it didn't you guys probably can't see that on camera, but maybe a little bit. So you guys can see like the little darkness like right here. That's because the Bondo isn't completely flush with the roof. So that's when I'm going to get some glazing putty and go back through, probably just around it, and then fill everything in, along with this one right here. This one right here didn't really come out that good either. I mean, it's filled in, but it's not completely flush, and I don't want to leave it like that because you'll be able to see that when I put the paint on. So that's why doing body work is really important. So make sure you guys do it right the first time, because when you paint everything, you're going to see all the imperfections. So if you guys can see that, I'll keep my hand right here. So you guys can see, looks like someone slammed a baseball on my roof. Yeah, that's where the Bondo's at. It's not completely flat. So along with right here, you guys can see that. Yeah, I noticed that earlier today. So I'm going to have to do these two spots again, but I'm going to do it with glazing putty, so that way everything's really smooth. Reason why this didn't come out that flat is because the roof of a car has a curve in it. Like, even though it looks flat directly in the middle, it's not. It has a curve all the way in it. That's why when you look at a roof, it has a bend in it like that. There's no flat spot on a roof. Even the window, no flat spot. So that's why that didn't come out right. It's the first time I've ever done Bondo on a roof.
Ooh. Tie rod and busted pivot.
Yep. This is the paint that I got right here. I was actually expecting it to be like a little tiny can that you would get like at AutoZone or something like that. Anyways, the paint code on here for this one says 9865 main layer, single stage. Pretty much has a clear coat in it, and like the regular base coat stuff, it's just the regular base coat. So with base coat, you would have to wet sand it and then clear coat it or something like that. But this stuff right here, the single stage, you basically just spray it on, let it dry, and then if you need to, wet sand and buff, and then you should be done. So this is a 4.5 fluid ounce can, and price code A. I don't know what all that stuff is about. But anyways, OEM code right there, if you guys can see that. It says 668. Let me see if I can get this fixed. Yep, right there, 668. And it's jet black. So it actually sounds like the guy put two like BBs in here or whatever. You guys can see that on the top. Matter of fact, I want to try to compare that real quick. So, holy crap, dude, I didn't even realize my door is that damn shiny. That's an Instagram pic. By the way, follow me on Instagram, German_muscle_e46. So, let me know, guys. Does that look like it matches to you? Alright guys, so if you guys can see all this rust right here, that's flash rust, because it just rained really hard and now everything's dry out. So not too worried about it, because I could just sand it right out. And I gotta put glazing putty through here anyway, so it's hard to see these dents, but like around this dent, the edge line is still caved in, so I need to fill this in and just scheme it down a little bit. I want to get it as flat and as straight as I possibly can, so that way when I go to paint it, everything turns out perfect. This right here, I don't know if this is a factory flaw, but that's a looks like a drip, so I'm gonna have to sand that out and fix that as well. So I sanded down all the primer. I'm glad I only put like a couple coats on it, so you guys can see this. This should be perfectly flat. You guys can see the light under that around the edges. That's what needs to be filled in. This is a pretty good way of measuring how flat something is. Now, because the roof is not flat, that's why that came out like that. So I'm just gonna lay this on and hopefully get this perfect. Same with this side right here, so I'll show you guys real quick. If you guys can see the light coming through the bottom, and especially like right there, it's pretty deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. Alright guys, so I got this as smooth as I can. It's actually pretty formed in there, so shouldn't really have to worry about anything showing up in the paint. got this one done as well. So yeah, it's pretty smooth. Dents are probably the hardest thing to work with. It's probably better to try to get the dent out before filling it in. But still need to finish this side right here, so I just need to sand this down because this one right here came out pretty smooth and flat. You can't even feel any imperfections besides the actual primer. And I haven't even began to work on this side yet, so this is the first time I've ever used this stuff, so it's going to take me a couple tries to get it right. But I just need to sand this down and probably add some more. I want to keep doing it until I get it as flat as I can, and then get everything ready for primer. So the roof is actually ready. Everything's pretty smooth the way it's supposed to be, and I actually sanded down the roof a little bit, if you guys can see that, besides this little spot right here. I did go over all this right here with 400 and 2000 grit. Oh, actually that's 2500. So this right here is really smooth. So the only thing I need to do is primer all this in, sand it, primer this in, sand it, and then get it ready for paint. So then I just need to do this side, the front, and I still need to do the quarter panel. So I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so I don't know how well you guys can see this scratch right here. The scratch right here, it's like all messed up right there, and it goes down to down here. So as you guys can tell, I got it sanded down with 2500 grit sandpaper, and I got alcohol on this rag. So I'm just gonna, I already wiped it off, but I'm just gonna wipe off where it just touched that. So I want to see if this is actually the same color as my car. So if it's not, the guy told me that I can go in there with my car, show them that it doesn't match, and then they'll give me a different can or something like that. But this is jet black. So jet black right here, and so is the car. So I want to go ahead and spray a coat down and see how good this stuff really matches. This whole area from here, you guys can't even see that on camera, but all the way over here is clean. All the way past the camera is clean. So I don't want to hear in the comments that I didn't clean this area first. So just gonna go ahead and lay it coat down. Alright guys, so it looks like it matches 100%. So if you guys see all the little waves right here, that's because that's just like the little mist that comes off. Same over here. So the only thing I need to do is grab some 1500 grit and sand this whole thing down when it dries, and come back and buff it out. So yeah, you probably can't tell on camera, but it looks like it matches 100%. I also need to do this right here as well. If you guys are OGs to the channel, you guys will know why this right here needs to be redone. So I also have flake and clear coat right here as well I've been working on. And if you guys are OGs to the channel, you guys will know that this whole entire upper roof drip rail was completely toast. So I just painted this. This is the first coat, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. I also, for the professional painters out there, I taped off the drip rail and the weather strip right here. So y'all shouldn't be in the comments talking crap. Taped off the window too, but that wanted to blow over. But I'm just gonna take that off. So right here, if you guys can see this, right here is where I actually stopped spray painting at. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but you can't really notice it in person unless like come this way. You guys can see that on camera. Like right here is where you can tell, other than looking at that and it not be shiny. But anyways, I still need to do this side right here. I guess it wasn't dry all the way because when I went to go sand it down, it started clumping up. So this side right here is completely flat, so that needs to be done. This side is good, that needs to be done. The door, I haven't done the door yet because, like I said, I do want to sand this whole entire door down and repaint it. So I also need to repaint the door handle. I don't know what that is, but it's stuck on there. And the whole top part of this door right here is Chrysler black. So if you guys can see that on camera, these two colors don't match, and these two colors down here don't match. So you can actually tell the difference. This is spray paint and that's factory paint. So I'm actually going to sand down the whole entire top part of the door. So where you see all the runs at, all that's going to be sanded down. All this is going to be sanded down and it's going to be painted. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I am going to wait until I get another can of paint, because I mainly want to get the hood fixed. So if you guys can see that, this hood is pretty faded, so yeah, I want to fix that. I forgot all about this right here. So the only thing I need to do here is sand it down with 2500, roll this crap off, and it should be about that big. Then go ahead and paint it. Paint's probably going to get on the tire too, but I can get paint off the tire. I'm probably going to go ahead and sand these scratches out right here and paint that as well, just because. But yeah, I'm going to get back to work. Alright guys, so this is the one that came out the best. So you guys can see right here, this is like really flat. So I should have no problem out of this one.
Boss like to get on my channel. Give your life to be a solidified. This motherfucking shit is like Rambo when he's out of bullets. So what good is a fucking machine gun when it's out of ammo?